Boy, all the Texans fans that were upset day one when we were doing the show on Monday that Nick Caserio wasn't making any moves, that Nick Caserio was sitting on his hands, that they weren't spending any money. What a 24-hour period it has been. Joe Mixon is a Houston Texan. Danielle Hunter is a Houston Texan. Malik Collins is not a Houston Texan. He has been traded to the 49ers for a 7th-round pick. But the big news, obviously, Paul, is that yesterday, Danielle Hunter is brought home from the Minnesota Vikings, a 2-year, $49 million deal, 48 of it guaranteed. I love that $1 million not guaranteed. Got to make sure he works for his contract, Paul. But a massive, massive signing. That is a great football player that the Texans brought in.
Combine him with Autry, you replace Jonathan Grenard's departing 12.5 sacks with 28 sacks. Think about it from that perspective. And you go back to what D'Amico Ryans was saying at the beginning of the offseason, that he's looking to make the trenches better, bigger. He has done that because he brought Hunter in. He brought in Autry. Hunter is an upgrade over Grenard. He has been a better player, and he's coming off of a 16.5 sack season. And then, on top of all of that, they make the move, shipping out Malik Collins, which is an interesting move. I'll be honest, the cap and the workings of it are confusing to me at times.
Yes,
what
same.
I do know is that Collins was supposed to be a very large cap hit for the Texans this year. $13.5 million roughly. So with him off the books, I don't know how much of that money goes off the books with the trade. I don't know if some of this money, because of the dead cap, ends up being like $10 million, but you hope, at least in the immediacy of this trade, that this means that yet another move is coming from Nicky Deals Caserio.
So Texans Cap, who's great on Twitter, he says that it's going to generate 2.55 net cap savings for 2024. It looks like Collins was due $8.5 million. 6 of that was guaranteed, so that's how you get the 2.5 savings on this deal. So it looks like
radio math.
Radio math. That's what we're good at. But Nick Caserio, man, he's a wheeling dealing son of a gun.
Rings. Kiss the rings. Patriots South. You guys don't want to be Patriots South. Well, look what he just did. What he just did, Mr. Winner.
This is not a Patriots move.
This is a Patriots move, though. I'm going to count this as a Patriots move for the Houston Texans.
What? Winning the offseason? That's a Patriots move?
Well, it was a couple of off seasons ago. The Patriots have more recently won an offseason than they've won a Super Bowl. So, you got to take them where you can get them. But, yeah, so many people, Joe, criticize Nick Caserio and go back to free agency in last year, where they get Dalton Schultz and they get Sheldon Rankins and they pick up Steven Nelson. I mean, he did a lot last offseason. They win the draft. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then to this point, 2 days in, the entire internet is saying that the Houston Texans have won free agency.
Nick Caserio's a great GM. I don't know if there's any other way. Now, look, this might not end in a Super Bowl. This might not even end in the Texans' first AFC Championship appearance. I think it's going to. Both those things, I think, will happen. I don't know if Danielle Hunter will even be here for those things, but I believe in Nick Caserio. Look what he's done through the draft over the years. The players he's brought in, not just first-round picks. It's Nico Collins. It's Christian Harris. It's taking a flyer on Derek Stingley Jr., which if he can be healthy, he can be one of the best cornerbacks in the league. We still kind of like Jalen Petrie, but they locked up Laramie Tunsil. They locked up Titus Howard. They traded for Shaq Mason. Nick Caserio, his hands are all over this roster. Every good thing that has happened to this franchise over the last year really started with Nick Caserio the day he got here. It's impressive. And I was on team fire his ass last year.
Oh, you got to apologize then.
I apologize, Nick Caserio.
Good.
I apologize. You were right. I am wrong. Where's my camera? I am dumb. You're smart. You're a robot. I'm a human, but you're still smarter than me. But he's doing a great job. And they have $26 million left in cap space, it looks like. there's clearly another move happening in the defensive line, but he is just done. I like every move he makes, it feels like at this point.
Since we were both parts of the Patriots dynasty, me sitting up in section 318 and Nick, of course, building the roster, we're close friends, so we know Nick listens to this show. And I think that, Joe, we could make our platform an opportunity for Texans fans out there so impatient, so 2024, you can beg for amnesty on our show. You can beg. And we'll determine whether or not you get it. We will determine. But, you brought in someone from the Patriots, and I know. Oh, it doesn't work outside of Foxborough. Well, how about the guy who was there for a very long time? How much credit does he deserve? Not as much as Brady. Not as much as Belichick. But the guy's smart. And what they've done to this point, if you're not happy, what is going to make you happy? Getting Danielle Hunter.
Great question.
Getting Danielle Hunter stunned me. I didn't think they would go and do that. I figured they would be smart, that they wouldn't be aggressive. But DeMeco Ryans wants the Texans to be aggressive. Nick Caserio is being aggressive, and they have dramatically transformed their defensive line in just a couple of days of free agency. And theoretically, they're freeing up a little bit of cap space, not as much as I was hoping based off of that Texans cap tweet, to potentially continue to bring in guys. And there are still some needs. Safety maybe, cornerback maybe. I know some people want a wide receiver, running back. There's other needs out there. But I don't know how anyone isn't happy with what the Texans have done over the last 48 hours.
Yeah, from the 713, just in the vest we trust. Agreed. I don't know if that's exactly what we want to go with, but...
He's allowed to wear a vest again.
He is.
Steven Nelson, I think you got to apologize for calling him a clown freak. Even if he is wearing a vest in 100-degree weather or close to 100-degree weather, which is clown freak behavior.
It is.
But
it's so hot. He's wearing a vest.
Now maybe we all need to be wearing vests. Maybe wearing a vest makes you smarter. I used to hate, Joe, when I would see all the oil and gas people out at the bars, they're all wearing their North Face vests.
Yeah.
I just thought they all looked like conformists, and that they're the exact kind of people I never want to be, outside of the whole being wealthy part. Now they're doing it right.
Maybe we should. I'll text Courtney, our promo person, and see. She's the one that can get all of our gear. Maybe we can get some ESPN 97.5 vests.
Yes.
For all of us. We can just wear them every day. And on the back end sake, in Caserio, we trust.
Yeah.
We are all clown freaks.
We are all clown freaks. I love it. I think it's great. But this is just, been an impressive offseason so far. And obviously they have to win games on the football field, but Texans fans should be very happy with the moves they made, because every player that has left so far, there has been a real argument that you've made an upgrade. Even from punter to pass rusher, they've upgraded at every single position this offseason.
Mixon's better than Singletary.
He is. Like, you might not like him,
right?
And I get it, but he's better than Singletary.
Yeah. On a better deal, too.
And he's on a better deal. And the nice thing about this trade today from Lee Collins is that you gave up a 7th for Mixon. You got a 7th back today. So if you're a draft capital whore, then you still get all your stuff. You're good too.
If you're thinking for even a split second, at least now we're net neutral on 7th round draft picks ins and out.
Look, man.
Step away from the computer, please.
There are people who think that right now.
But they are. So
they can draft the next Brock Purdy with that pick.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's true.
Or some rando in the 3rd and 4th round, right? Yeah. Listen, Vest Boys, let's go.
The Vest Boys. I like it.
Yeah.
This is the Vest Boys show from 12 to 3 every day here on ESPN 97.5, 925.
I should have worn a vest today, honestly. I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day week.
Yes.
And I'm wearing green every single day in some way, shape, or form.
Good call.
I haven't drank yet. That'll happen a little bit later because I'm going to the Nickelback concert. Very excited for that one.
Paul's going to lose his voice.
Yeah.
Paul's not going to be here tomorrow.
Look at his photograph. No, I will show up. But will I show up is the real question.
So tomorrow's like my first real hangover Paul day.
Especially because I'm on we're going to be at the Decoy, right?
Oh yeah. So once they,
I might be sauced before the show starts because I got to stay lubed.
Yeah.
Got to shake the hangover off with a little hair of the dog.
We'll be good to go.
Yeah.
What's your hair of the dog? Do you go
Bloody Mary?
Bloody Mary
every single time. Bloody Mary's perfect.
I used to hate them,
but then after that, it's Pendleton whiskey. True Western tradition. Yeah.
I really don't like tomato juice, but then it's just. Once I started drinking more, I started going to the Bloody Mary, and now I love them.
I mean, I don't know what it is, but it just cures the hangover immediately.
I think it's just, is it a mindset thing?
No.
It's just like looking at it makes you feel better.
Placebo effect?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, so thank you.
I don't know if it's that. No, I think there's legitimately some science behind that. Any scientists out there want to explain that to us?
Tell me what's in tomato juice.
Yeah, how about
can I just ketchup instead?
Right, exactly. That's what we need Gary to call in. The Gary, the kind of racist guy who was getting after Joel and Jeremy on the Killer Bees yesterday.
Big time.
I want that guy to call in and explain Bloody Marys to us.
So Danielle Hunter, are you good with the size of the contract? 25 or 24 and a half
for 2 years?
Yeah,
this is a great deal.
Yeah,
I mean, you got 16 and a half sacks.
Is it a better deal than the Grenard deal? 4 years, $76 million.
I think so.
2 years, 49.
I mean, he's got 87 and a half career sacks. This is a guy who's proven it over the years too. With Grenard, there is always going to be is he going to be able to do it again? So, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to nitpick at this one. I can't. Like with Mixon, the nitpick is not that they made a trade giving up nothing to go get a running back who's better than the guy that they had. It's the off the field stuff that you're hoping is in the past. With Hunter, I can't think of anything. And I'll be honest, Joe, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with how many people are saying, yeah, Texans won free agency, because now I'm thinking, wait, is winning free agency good?
No, but this is different.
Historically, it hasn't been good for anyone, but I mean, they've won it. They've definitely won it.
Because they spent wisely. They haven't overspent on anyone. Like when the Jags would win free agency, it's because they're giving Christian Kirk a $100 million contract, and they're bringing all these big name items. And Danielle Hunter is really the only guy that the Texans have brought in that has that cachet with him. Everyone else is just a good football player on a good contract. So that's why I think they've won free agency, but I do think they've won it in a way that's traditionally different than what we would say about past free agency winners.
Right. I think in the move that the Raiders made, if it wasn't a move by the Raiders signing Christian Wilkins, if a contender did that, I think people would be like, yeah, this is a great move. But that's not the kind of contract that the Texans have given out to this point. They gave out, in true Nick Caserio fashion, a 2-year deal. And they traded for a guy on an expiring contract.
And Danielle Hunter's lucky he got that second year.
Yeah.
And there's also
a lot of guaranteed money. I was like, what? Like,
a lot of guaranteed.
It's a funny contract. It's $51 million and 48 of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Why not just guarantee it all?
Yeah.
It's also like, yeah, it is the most like a NBA or baseball contract where it's like basically all guaranteed, but it's a 2-year deal. Like normally the NFL, there's some shell game that's happening where it's like
this is straightforward.
A 5-year deal worth $114 million, but it's actually only $50 million guaranteed, and they can get out of it. No, this one is Danielle Hunter will be a Texan for at least 2 years.
Hell yeah!
I that's my nitpick, I guess.
Only 2 years.
It's only 2 years. He's 29. Like, is that my nitpick? Like, if he's awesome for the next 2 years, you have to pay him again?
His name is weird, and it looks like it's Danielle.
Yeah.
But he identifies as
his name
Danielle.
was Danielle Hunter when he was at LSU. I was just like, his name is Danielle.
They
and
draft
also he looks the way he looks. It's like Boy Named Sue. It's like this guy's gonna kick your ass if you mention it to him.
Oh, that's so funny. Danielle Hunter is a Houston Texan. 2 years, $51 million, 48 of it guaranteed. A monster contract. Malik Collins has been traded from the Houston Texans to the San Francisco 49ers for a 7th-round pick. So
and
we'll
Nick,
see what's next.
And look, guys, you got to apologize to Nick Caserio, who to our Texans hangover was, per texter, the acid in tomatoes that cures said hangover. How about that?
Thank you, Texter.